In this video, we are looking at differentiating hyperbolic functions. We've already seen that the derivative of sin x is cos x and the derivative of cos x is sin x. Let's see if we can use that to find the derivative of tang x. Have a go at this. You can use the quotient rule for this. Okay, so to do this, we're thinking of this as sin x over cos x. And let's set up the quotient rule. We'll do this very carefully at this stage. U is sin x and u dash is therefore cos x. V is cos x and v dash is sin x. So using the quotient rule, we get v u dash, which is cos squared x, minus u v dash, which is sin squared x, all over v squared, which is cos squared x. So cos squared x minus sin squared x is 1. So we have 1 over cos squared x. And this would be an acceptable way to leave that, but we can call 1 over cos squared x sec squared x if you like. Just on these things, it's less common to use terms like sec, cosec and coth than it is to use sec, cosec and cot. That's sort of merely by convention. So look, either of these are acceptable. Now notice that the derivative here is maybe what you'd expect, because the derivative from trig of tan x is sec squared x. And well, because there's no, basically by Osborne's rule, because there is no sin squared x anywhere there, or even implied, we don't go negative for that. Okay, let's have a go at some of these. In this case, we're just going to be applying this, what we've learned in the context of chain rule and product rule. So in the context of chain rule, we'd say that the derivative of sin of something is cos of that something multiplied by the derivative of that thing, which is 5. So easy as that. Now we've got a product rule, so u and v dash. So we've got u v dash. So u is x. Derivative of cos 2x is sin 2x times 2. So we end up with 2x sin 2x plus u dash v. U dash is 1, v is cos 2x, and there's our derivative. Sec 3x. Well, you could maybe guess this one. The derivative of sec from trig is sec x tan x. Let's see if we get sec x tan x. Let's do this using the quotient rule. We'll consider this to be 1 over cos 3x. So here's our u, here's our v. So it's v u dash. So v is cos 3x times u dash, which is 0. So that's 0. Minus u v dash. So 1 times the derivative of cos 3x, which is 3 sin 3x. All of that divided by u squared, v squared, which is cos squared 3x. So in total, what do we have? Well, we've got minus 3. Then we've got we've got sin 3x over cos squared. So we can split that up into 1 over cos 3x and sin 3x over cos 3x, giving us a total of minus 3 sec 3x tang 3x. So it wasn't the same. Now, it's a little bit hard to see why. Osborne's rule doesn't work quite so obviously when it comes to derivatives. It's not quite clear where our implied sin is here. So my advice is, if you are differentiating things like sec or cosec or coth, just basically convert them into sin, cos and tang and work with those, because it's a little bit hard to predict whether they're going to be positives or negatives. Okay, let's put this into practice with a stationary point problem. So the stationary point of f of x, well, and then determine its nature. So we're going to set its derivative equal to 0. Differentiate 5 cosh x and we get 5 sine x. Differentiate 3 sine x and it's 3 cosh x. And if we set that equal to 0, we have 5 sine x equals minus 3 cosh x. Dividing through by cosh gets me tan x here. Dividing through by 5 gets me minus 3/5. So x is just artan of minus 3/5. That's a half ln 1 plus that value, so that's 1 minus 3/5, over 1 minus that, so it's 1 plus 3/5. So what do we get? Well, inside the bracket there, 1 minus 3/5 divided by 1 plus 3/5 gets me a quarter. So it's a half ln a quarter. I do a couple of things there. I can apply the half there, so it's ln of a quarter to the half, which is ln of a half, because the square root of a quarter is a half. And finally, well, you know what? We could either leave it as ln a half, or we could turn it into minus ln 2. Both are fine. I'll just leave it like that. Right, I want coordinates, so I want the y value. Now, the y value here, we basically just need to sub it into the exponential version. So what is that? That's 5 times. So cosh, that's e to the x plus e to the minus x. E to the x here, e to the ln of a half is just a half, plus e to the minus x. Well, e to the power of minus ln a half is e to the power of ln of a half to the power of minus 1, which is e to the ln 2, which is 2. So we end up with a half plus 2 over 2. Then 3 sine x, well, it's e to the x, which is a half, minus e to the minus x, which is minus 2, all over 2. And we just work all of that out. So 5 times 2.5 over 2, plus 3 times minus 1.5 over 2. And in total, that's 4. So the y value is 4. So I've got the coordinates. It's ln a half and 4. But it wants us to determine its nature, which means is it a minimum or a maximum? So we're evaluating the second derivative there. Now, nicely, the second derivative is actually just the same as the original function. You differentiate 5 sine x and you get 5 cosh x. And derivative of 3 cosh x is 3 sine x. So that's nice. You differentiate a hyperbolic function, or sine or cosh, twice and you just get back to where you started. So when x is ln of a half, what do we get? Well, I didn't do any more work because that's just like subbing ln of a half into f of x, and I already know the answer to that is 4. So that's greater than 0, and therefore the thing we found is a local minimum. And we're done. All right, that's all for now. See you in the next video.